What's up travelers, MGR here. Today I want to talk about the build I'm using for everyone's favorite Tig Old Biddy Kaufman, Rosaria. Rosaria is a very versatile unit, being able to do physical DPS, cryo DPS, or cryo sub DPS. Her ascendant talent is attack, which gives her even more versatility because it doesn't force her into a specific role. For weapons, I'm using Deathmatch, mainly for the additional crit rate, but it depends on the role you want her to go. If you're going to use cryo sub DPS, you may look at something with energy recharge, which we have a lot of spears for. Of course, 5-star weapons are obviously mainly the best because of the huge base attack they give you over 4-star weapons. And if you're going to go physical DPS, unfortunately your only options are between the Dragon Spine Spear as well as the Crescent Pike Spear, which you can get both from the Black Myths, which are free to play. If you're heavy reaction based, you could use Dragon's Bane as well, of course depending on what your Rosaria needs. For artifacts, she also has a lot of versatility. Of course you can use the 4-piece Blizzard Strayer that I'm using. I want to put a disclaimer out there early. Your substats on your artifacts are much more important than artifact sets. Artifact sets should basically just complement your build, and you should work around the best artifacts your character does have. For instance, I actually wanted to build her as a physical DPS unit, but my physical artifacts don't allow me to do that because the substats on my Blizzard Strayer are just so much better. So for cryo main DPS, your best choice would be Blizzard Strayer, 2-piece giving you 15% bonus on cryo damage, and your 4-piece giving you 20% extra crit rate when dealing damage to opponents affected by cryo, and an additional 20% against frozen opponents, meaning most of your crit rate that you are lacking could be made up with this artifact set. If you're running cryo sub DPS, you may be also using Blizzard Strayer along with a 2-piece Noblesse set for that extra damage on your ult. And for physical users, your best sets would be 2-piece Bloodstained or 2-piece Pale Flame, but since Rosaria does have a very low cooldown on her E, you can use the Pale Flame set to get the max bonus and give her a massive physical amp. For substats, you are looking for crit rate and crit damage. Those should be your top priority. Second priority being attack, flat attack, and you could go for elemental mastery if you're a big comp, melt comp, or any elemental reaction comp. She could also go for energy recharge as the last priority, since if you're running her as a sub DPS, she can get more energy recharge while being off field. She doesn't really scale anyway with defense or HP, so don't mind those. My Rosaria is at C2, which is really great because the second constellation gives you extra time on your ult. I think you get one more pulse out of the ult in total, which really helps her DPS. And then C1 gives her additional attack speed and normal attack damage when she hits a crit, which we'll be doing often. Talents, I have her at 777. These could obviously be much better, but farming is pain. And I also have her 2 passives unlocked, Regina Probationum, Revenue Confession increases her crit rate, and Shadow Samaritan increases the crit rate of your party by 15% of her crit rate when you use your ult. Without further ado, what's up travelers, Future MGR here, just realizing post-edit that I never talked about my main stats because I have Alzheimer's, but not really. Anyways, for cryo DPS, you're looking for attack percentage, cryo damage bonus, and crit damage, but this depends mostly on your 1:2 ratio. I have enough crit on my Rosaria already, so I'll be using a crit damage circlet. If you're running a physical focused Rosaria, you would be doing an attack percentage Sands with a physical damage goblet and depending on your crit ratio, crit damage or crit rate, whatever gets you closer to the 1 to 2 ratio. If you're doing a sub cryo damage Rosaria support, anything like that, you may want to exchange the attack sense for an energy recharge one, depending if you get your ult back fast enough as you need it. But for a cryo sub, it's either going to be attack percentage sans or energy recharge with cryo damage goblet and crit damage crit rate depending on what you need. And also I can never show their stats off. So there we go. This crit rate can go all the way up to, I think it's about 80%, because for my Blizzard Strayer I get 20% crit rate there. I get 12% from her E whenever I hit an enemy with it. So that is a 32% increase in her crit rate. Anyway, future MGR out. The team comp I will be using for Rosaria is Zhongli, so I can focus on DPS. And then since he is my cryo DPS, I will be using Xiangyun to infuse her normal attacks. I won't be using Xiangling against Masanori right now, because I just want to show off Rosaria. Let's go.
Stabilized.
So what you want to do is you want to use his E and give her that full cryo infusion, hitting all her shots, and again that low cooldown allows you to just wail and use your E as often as possible.
Solidifies. One with my blade.
Get this in again. This is a nice cryo DPS. Very important and cool about Rosaria is her E actually lunges toward the enemy. That could be used for a variety of reasons, closing distance on your enemy or even evading attack, so keep that in mind. Her E is very versatile when it comes to that.
Fourth, my blade. This will do. Gather.
You can't run.
This. Swift and merciful.
Yeah. Judgment.
Isn't over.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't run.
You win this battle.
On to the next one. Thanks for dropping by for our next volunteer.
Stabilize.
I will be going up against the Pyro Regisvine, mainly because using cryo against a cryo Regisvine, not the best idea. I did switch out Changling for Mana, just to break this guy's Corolla much faster.
Gather.
And we almost did 3/4 of his HP bar, so it's going to be an easy 2-phase for Rosaria without any real support from any other characters, except Johnny, because Big Geodaddy is the best.
Fourth, my blade.
You can't run.
Here we go. Nice, comfortable little victory. Hey everyone, just want to preface this, that for the sake of your and my sanity, I will not be using the Rosaria solo in this thing. I will be using my overall melt comp. Our team members being Zhongli, of course, so we can focus on DPS. Xiangyun, who has the 4-piece noblesse, so I can get some extra damage over all of my ults, as well as using the sacrificial greatsword to get his E off as much as possible. I am using Changling as well, with Skyward Spine, giving her some extra crit rates and the best energy recharge and base attack I can for her currently. along with the Crimson Witch 4-piece set, of course increasing my melt damage. These are the stats for each one. Don't talk about Zhongyun. Zhongyun, you see, could use a lot of work, but he's okay. And finally, Changming. Without further ado, let's get to it.
Stabilize! A touch of frost! Submit for judgment!
Booba, get them! Eat this! Punishment! You can't run! Sa, yeah. Hit!
Solidify! Forth my blade!
Out of the frying pan, it's judgment! Yeah! Sa, hit! Hit! You can't run!
Solidify! One with my blade!
Judgment! Yeah! Yeah! Nice and spicy! You can't run! Judgment!
Thank you for tuning into my Rosaria build. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, I would appreciate a like and subscribe for future content. Thank you, my travelers, and as always, good luck on your pulls. MGR out.